Let's all play What's My Line? And now let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, the one-man Funza-Poppin' Soupy Sales.
Thank you, and thank you, Johnny Olson. It's a pleasure to welcome back the wonderful actress of the Broadway stage and matinee dancer at Roseland. Would you please welcome Sandy Duncan?
Thank you. I know a lot of hippies, but the original hippie is Henry Morgan.
He certainly is.
And here we have one of the most certainly ladies altogether in the entire industry. I'm sure you'll agree personally. Arlene Francis.
And here's Jolly Wally.
Thank you, Arlene, and welcome everyone to What's My Line. That was quite an entrance, Arlene. Very reminiscent.
I feel a little like Gone with the Wind.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe that's because you're seated next to Henry. Huh? No, I didn't
That's
mean
a
that.
breeze.
But let's meet our first challenger. So, will you enter and sign in, please? Mr. X. Panel, this is Mr. X, and may I tell you that Mr. X is concerned with a product. And now let's show our audience just who our guest is and what his product is. And we'll begin with Henry Morgan.
That's your first mistake today. Mr. X, is your name associated with the product?
Yes, it is.
Is the product named after you?
Sometime.
Does it go in and out, up and down?
In clarification, Henry, may I say that this gentleman is the innovator of a particular product. There are copies now which are about, but this gentleman is the innovator.
Okay. Is this product used mainly by one sex?
Yes, it is.
Men?
No.
One down, Arlene.
Is this product something that is seen on the person?
Yes.
On women?
Yes.
Is it seen if somebody were to come into my house and I had this on, would the person be able to see it immediately?
Hopefully.
Is it something other than a dress?
Yes.
Is it what might have been called at one time something in the lingerie line?
No.
Two down, Soupy.
Well, in all fairness to Mr. X, who I'm sure if I hear the name I would know, can I rule out that your name is Valentino?
You can rule that out.
All right. No, I'm sure if I hear the name I'll know. It's because I don't recognize you on sight. But would the clothing be the new sensation hot pants?
That's
Yes.
it.
Is that right?
May I formally introduce you to hot pants fashion designer Halston? And not to make a pun, but Halston is probably one of the hottest young fashion designers today. He has won 2 Cody Awards, and he has been chosen as the American representative to an international fashion event in Mexico. Now, for whom do you design?
Well, I think I designed for the contemporary woman of any age, really.
You don't think that any particular age is involved in hot pants?
I don't really think so, depending upon the legs. If you can wear a bathing suit, you can wear hot pants. But I make well for a lot of star people like Liza Minnelli and Ally McGraw, and I do things for Mrs. Onassis and Mrs. William Paley, all sorts.
So all age groups? And...
All age groups and all types.
Right. Now, you got a special Cody Award for the total concept in fashion. What does this mean?
Well, that meant that it was everything. It had to do with hats and wigs and ready-to-wear and shoes and accessories and everything.
So you don't just design the hot pants themselves?
No, I do everything.
You do the whole and
Absolutely.
complete outfit. Well, as I'm sure that you were all hoping, panel, Halston has arranged a hot pants fashion show for us. Yeah. How about that? And just so none of you miss anything, particularly Henry and Soupy, we've got special seats for the four of you, so Lloyd, may we open the curtain, please? And panel, you see four chairs. Arlene and Henry, would you take one set, and Sandy and Soupy the other set, please? Is everyone comfy? All right, if everyone is comfy, may I say, on with the show.
This is Naomi Sims in my newest wig and head-hugging fashion called Marla. It closely follows the hairstyles of the 40s. This is available in 20 shades. Naomi's wig is a great contrast to the bright red hot pants jumpsuit and flowing red wool jersey cape. The cape is bordered in black braid, and the belt is designed with silver hearts. Black boots are the perfect leg fashion.
And thank you, Naomi.
And this is Karen. Fashion right for almost anywhere is Karen. She's wearing the Halston wig called Laura. This is really 2 wigs in one. It can be worn forwards and backwards and gives 2 different looks. The scarf around her neck adds a dramatic touch to Karen's blue suede jacket that is worn over a t-shirt and complements her matching hot pants. The total look is complemented with the leather jockey boots.
Lovely. Thank you, Karen.
And here's Pat Cleveland, sporting one of my newest wigs for Abbott tresses, the Mindy, which is another turnabout. Worn this way, it's a mass of curls. Turned around, it's smooth and sleek. Pat is wearing a man-tailored vest with buttons up the front over a classic sweater with matching shorts. Her leg fashion is pull-on jockey boots.
Thank you, Pat.
And here's Heidi. Under her turban, she's wearing my new Hetty wig for Abbott tresses. The jacket is really short-sleeved body shirt with its own belt, which creates a one-piece look. Pure silk jersey and brilliant purple is the hot pants story for our last model.
Lovely, and thank you, Heidi. All right, panel, if you can tear your eyes away, that means you can now return over here to your desk, huh? But thank you, Halston. It was a pleasure having you with us on What's My Line.
Thank you very much.
Did you say goodbye to the panel? What's My Line will continue right after this word. Well, that was fun. Henry and Soupy, did you particularly enjoy that?
I thought it had its moments, yes.
Yes, it certainly did.
What do the ladies think of it? Would either of you wear hot pants?
We were just talking about that, and I think it was very young, but I would be embarrassed without a skirt or something on the street.
How about you, Arlene?
Uncomfortable.
No, I'd wear it underneath a
Skirt.
hoop skirt.
I have a pair on under my long pants.
Really? I thought they were just for women.
Well, you put me in a pair of high heels, you can take me anyplace.
Let's meet our next challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Randall Jinks. And where are you from, sir?
Tucson, Arizona, the warm state.
The warm state. All right, panel. Randall Jinks is a second lieutenant in the United States Army. Now, his job in the Army is very unusual. Let's show the audience just what his unusual line is. We'll begin with Miss Francis.
Thank you, Wally. Mr. Jenks, Lieutenant Jenks, does what you do in the Army have anything to do with the way the men look in any way?
No, ma'am.
One down, Soupy.
Mr. Jinks, Lieutenant Jinks, what you do, does it ever have anything to do with the ladies of the Army Corps?
It can.
Yes.
It can.
Mm-hmm. It can.
It can.
Now, when you have something to do with them,
It's illegal.
it's illegal. We'll do a team, Henry.
My wife says it's illegal.
Your wife's okay.
No.
Now, you really have something to do with them. Are you ever in charge of them in any way?
Definitely.
Can we rule out that it has anything to do with sports?
Yes, you can.
Okay, now you've got to be are you in charge of a battalion of WACs?
I'd like to be, but the answer is no.
No, two down, Sandy.
Does it have anything to do with entertainment?
No, ma'am.
Or
Three down, Henry.
Is what you do with these people in any way instructive?
It can be instructive.
Not primarily instructive, but there may be a bit involved.
Well, are you an example of anything? No.
I'd say about as much as you are.
I never thought of myself that way. What I meant was, do you demonstrate something that the others learn from you?
Sometimes.
But
That's
not-
a part
not-
of it.
not really,
It'd be
though,
a
is
part
it?
of it.
Very small part, Henry. So small, I'm going to give you a no on it. Go on, Arlene. All right.
Do you, whatever your service is, do you do it or can you help or show or instruct more than one person at a time?
Yes, ma'am.
You have nothing to, may I rule out that you have anything to do with AWOL or anything like that?
You may rule that out, ma'am.
Do you, the way he says ma'am, I feel 110.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Do you have anything to do with the motion, the traveling of any of these people?
No,
Five down, Soupy.
Can we rule out, Lieutenant Jinks, that sports are involved?
You may.
you did.
We've already ruled that out. Do you have a guess? Our time is up. I'm flipping all the cards and telling you that Lieutenant Jenks is an Army nurse. But the lieutenant is assigned to the U.S. Army Medical Corps at Fort Huachuca, Arizona. And isn't it a little unusual?
It is very unusual for a man to be a nurse. Currently, out of all the nurses in the United States, 2% are men.
You don't live in the nurses' quarters, do you?
Well, like I said, my wife would rule that out.
Oh, your wife would rule it. Well, how did you happen to go into nursing, Randy?
Well, it's very easy. I had a football injury which needed repair, and I went to a hospital, and the fellow who took care of me was a male nurse, and he got me interested in nursing.
Do any funny things happen to a male nurse?
Yes, there are. One day I was walking in the ward up at Hartford, Connecticut, where I trained at Hartford Hospital School of Nursing. And by the way, I'm the first male graduate in the 90-year history of the school. Thank you. And what happened was there was a lady doctor, and she was taking her medical internship, and we walked into a room where there was a lady with kidney problems, and she looked at the doctor, and she said, "Good afternoon, nurse." And she said, "I'm the doctor." And she looked at me, and she said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm your nurse." And she dropped out of the bed.
Well, Randy, I think it's a very worthwhile profession, and I'm delighted that men are going into it, and you're a good example of one who should be.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
on
sir.
What's My Line. You say goodbye to What's My Line will continue right after this word. All right, and once again, we've reached that very special part of What's My Line, the time we meet our mystery guest panel. Are the blindfolds securely in place?
Yes, Wally.
All right, mystery challenger, will you enter and sign in, please? All right, panel, our mystery guest has arrived. I'll remind you it's one question at a time. I'll give you 2 minutes to try and establish our guest's identity, and we'll begin with Soupy Sales.
Thank you, Wally. Mystery guest, that was a marvelous ovation. Is that because you're well known due to your appearances on television?
No.
Sandy.
Are you known for your work in the theater?
No.
Henry.
Are you well known?
Yeah.
Arlene.
Are you well known in the sports world?
Yep.
Soupy.
Oh, he's well known in the sports world. Is that because you are a champion, or you have been a champion?
I don't think you could ever call this gentleman anything else.
Yep.
Sandy.
Yeah, let's find out what sport. All right, baseball.
Yep.
Henry.
That was a yeah for baseball. All righty. Are you a pitcher?
Yep.
Arlene.
Well, I just read a terrific story about someone that has been beloved over a long period of years and the Hall of Famer. Are you Satch Page?
Yes. This is a man that would have rewritten every record book on baseball had he been permitted to play in the major leagues in his prime. Really, in the younger years. Satch, don't you agree?
Yes, I come along back. They got a little confused about my age.
Well, everybody's still a little confused about your age.
Well, I come up to tell it, but I think I better hold it. I thought maybe you did have some kind of dream about it, how old I was, but I see it's the same thing I was when I was with Cleveland, so I'm going to just say I'm a little over 60. Now, and it's the funny thing, I'm the only man in the United States that don't nobody know nothing about his age, and I'm before the people all the time.
Oh, I heard that Bill Veck knew how old you were.
Well, Bill Veck do, but Bill Veck's not going to tell it. He's not too far from here now. He and I are together.
You know, it's estimated that Satchel Paige pitched about 2,500 baseball games. And of those, he won over 2,000 out of 2,500 games. What a fantastic record that is. How many years did you pitch? Can you tell us that, Satchel?
Well, I pitched 42 years altogether with grade school and in the Southern League up until I got to the Major League in 1942. To tell you how many games I've pitched, I couldn't tell you because I played winter and summer, and I've pitched about a year where it started in the spring, and I've pitched in a game, pitched as high as 160 ball games. Pitched every day.
When did you finally wrap it up?
I wrapped it up 2 years ago in Atlanta when I was with Atlanta playing some exhibition games.
Well, did Dizzy Dean really help, break it down for you so you could get into the majors?
Yes, he did. When he first won the World Series, he started the Barnstone, and we've been talking about how great I was, and then the rest of the players got out to the tops like Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams, and it really helped me. It really helped me to get in.
Satchel, if I'm not mistaken, don't you hold the record for the largest attendance of a nighttime ball game of all times when you pitched for Cleveland?
Yes, I do. That was in Cleveland. I had 78,941.
Yes, Henry.
You know, I have the rules home that Satchel Paige made up, the rules to live by. There are about 6 of them. And my favorite, and I'm going to say it wrong, of course, because I had to open my big mouth. Satchel Paige said years ago, never look behind. Something may be gaining on you.
Well, Satchel, we're delighted that you're in the Hall of Fame. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more, and we're also so pleased you could join us on What's My Line.
Well, I'm very glad to be here, too.
Thank you. Satchel Paige. What's My Line will continue right after this word. And now, panel, we have exactly 60 seconds for honest answers. To Soupy. Dennis Camber of Skokie, Illinois, says he saw you in Hell's a Poppin' 67 and Expo 67 in Montreal. And he says, that's part of your career I never heard about. Tell us about it.
Well, when they had Expo 67 in Montreal, Canada, Alexander Cohn got the rights from the Olson and Johnson estate for Hell's a Poppin', and he put together the show, and we did it for 14 weeks, 7 days a week, 2 shows a night at Expo, and it was a big hit.
Good.
And it was very exciting.
Very good. I didn't know you had done that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. And to Arlene, do you have a big social life, or does radio and television work keep you very busy?
I have a reasonable social life at night, but for the rest of the time, I'm busy with radio and television. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes to both, really.
Yeah.
Thank you for your honest answers. Well, with our Army nurse in the hot pants and Satchel Paige, I think it all fit together fairly well today. And I hope you'll join us tomorrow, because we're going to try to make the pieces fit then, too, on What's My Line?
Let's all play What's My Line? And now, let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, TV comedian, romantic symbol of masculinity, on whom no gal has been able to pin anything on him since he was 3 months old. Soupy Sale.
They weren't able to pin anything on me? Do you know that we were so poor my mother couldn't afford talcum powder when I was born? For about 3 months, I had to rough it. Here's another one you won't care for. No, I won't. We'll get on with the game here. But right now, here's somebody you will care for, because they care for every night on the There she is, stumbling out here right now, dancing her way into your hearts. Would you say hello to Melba Tolliver?
Thank you for that clumsy introduction. Now, won't you say hello to the fake brick maker from Cape Cod, Gene Rayburn?
Would you just explain that, please?
I won't explain it.
Well, what she's talking, I have a factory that makes plastic bricks, and it's beautiful. I call Brickover. That's a little plug. Now, let's give a big warm welcome and a grand plug for a grand lady. Here's Arlene Francis. George.
Now, here's a gentleman who can build almost anything with his hands. And he's very good with his head, too. Wally Bruner.
Thank you, Arlene, and welcome everyone to What's My Line.
Thank you.
What have you been doing, Gene? You've been building masonry homes, or what?
Well, we use our fake bricks inside and outside, and they work very well. You'd swear it was a real brick wall. After
I know, I
time.
saw one of these
Remember
walls and I swore at it.
All right. But now let's meet our first challenger. So will you enter and sign in, please? Carol Ison. And Miss Ison, where are you from?
New York City.
All right, panel. Carol Ison has written a most amusing book about a very commonplace human activity. Let's show the audience just what the subject of her book is. So the subject of her book is a very commonplace human activity. And we'll begin with Gene.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Wally. Miss Ison, this commonplace human activity, can we assume that... Watch
First
it now.
line is so funny.
Can we assume that it can only be engaged in by women?
No.
Oh.
One down, Arlene.
Is it something, this activity, that one does to oneself?
No.
2 down, Soupy.
Is it an activity that takes a person around the world or in a country somewhere?
No.
3 down, Melba.
Is it an activity that one engages in every day?
Yes, generally speaking.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, right, yes.
Unfortunately, huh? Do you perform or do this activity at home?
Yes.
Always? Or no, not always. I take that question back. Would it be strange if you did this someplace outside your home?
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is something that...
Is it an activity that is usually engaged in a particular room of your home?
No.
4 down, Gene.
That would rule out things like snoring and stuff like that. And eating.
Sleeping.
And things, sleeping, yeah, and all those things have to do with a particular room. Let's see. Are there physical props of any kind involved in this activity?
Yes.
All sorts of...
All sorts of them. Really? Well, now let's see. Does it have anything to do with clothing the body or covering the body in any way?
No, I don't think so. 5 down, Arlene.
Does it have something to do with housekeeping?
Yes.
In fact, that's it.
What? Housekeeping.
Wow.
But Carol is the author of the book Nobody Said You Had to Eat Off the Floor, The Psychiatrist's Wife's Guide to Housekeeping. And this is a copy of the book right here. It's published by McKay. Nobody Said You Had to Eat Off the Floor, The Psychiatrist's Wife's Guide to Housekeeping. I don't know. Do you have to be a psychiatrist's wife to write something like this, Carol?
Well, you certainly don't have to be a psychiatrist's wife to do housework.
I understand you love housework.
Oh, no, you understand totally incorrectly.
You don't care for it at all?
Not in the least.
She said through gritted teeth.
Do you have a basic philosophy about housekeeping?
Oh, I think if there's anything basic, it's that generally the junk in your head is the cause of the mess on your floor and vice versa.
Well, what gave you the idea to write a funny book about it?
Well, I started out writing a very straight book on housekeeping, and I was agonizing over getting it written, and I couldn't get it done, and I started thinking how it was as hard to write a book as it was to clean a floor, and somehow this came of it.
And what does your husband think of it?
Oh, he thinks it's sort of fun. He's pretty generally pleased.
Does he do any of the housekeeping?
Yes, when he's forced.
Do you have a maid?
I have somebody who's sort of, kind of...
Does the windows?
No. I have somebody coming up, to wash those. Nobody would hang out a 7th floor window, I don't think.
Well, it's become a tradition on What's My Line, Carol, to test our panel's skill or lack of it at the various activities and occupations which come before it. Right, panel?
Yes.
This time we've prepared a rather diabolical test of the panel's housekeeping abilities. And right now, I think enough has been said staggeringly and stutteringly so. So, Lloyd, open the curtains. Now, panel, one of those very ordinary chores that we do around the house is make beds, right? Very simple. So we're going to divide the panel into 2 teams. Melba and Soupy in one team, Gene and Arlene in the other. Would you join me now?
All right, let's go.
Now, the object of this game is, of course, that each team has a pair of beds. Come right on over here, Gene.
Okay.
Let's get this thing explained. There are 2 beds for you and Arlene, 2 beds for Melba and Soupy.
Is the continental breakfast included?
Continental breakfast is included. Now, if you will notice closely, there are pillows and pillow slips and 2 sheets and a blanket for each bed. So you must get all the pieces put together and on the bed. It's going to be a bit of a contest. Speed is important, but so is neatness. Ready, set, go!
Very small, flat.
Get in there, get in there. That's it.
Hey, done.
All right.
You have to tuck anything in.
Tuck everything in. I saw you. Okay.
Are you going to do which one? Are you going to do?
Upwards.
All right. There's no sheets.
Glued the sheets together.
Sticky sheets. That's not fair.
Hey, it's the Jolly Blue Marshmallow. Did you get the sheets? Melba, you can get put in jail for keeping a disorderly house. Come on now. Let's go. Come on, Melba. The meeting is at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay, time's up. Stop. Carol, what do you think? Do we have a winner?
I think we'll have to declare it a tie. I certainly nobody's ever had so much fun doing it.
All right, and as a prize, since it is a tie, your husband has consented to see all four of them. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
After making beds like that, I think it's very necessary. Carol, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you on What's My Line. And What's My Line will continue right after this one. Well, good group. That was well done. You're all good bed makers.
Yeah, but who makes beds that have to make beds that fast?
Yeah.
You know, you gotta go and make a bed, you have a cup of coffee, you talk on the phone, you tuck in a little bit, take a nap, wave out the window.
Really?
And, yeah, not like that. Who rushes around that? If you rush around that fast, you belong to a psychiatrist.
All right, well, let's see what happens, though, with our next challenger. So will you enter now and sign in, please? Mike McCaslin. And Mike, where are you from?
I'm from Monterey Park, California.
All right, panel, Mike McCaslin is president of the student body at the Mark Keppel High School in Alhambra, California. Now, he also happens to be the world's record holder at eating something. As a matter of fact, he ate 255 of these things in 45 minutes.
What was that now?
He ate 255 of these things in 45 minutes. Now let's show the audience what he is the world's champion at eating.
255.
And we'll begin with Melba.
I'll bet what you eat is something that's really not all that pleasant, right? Is it a vegetable?
Well, now that's a.
All right, that's okay. Is it something that's in the vegetable line?
Yes.
Pickles?
Well, wait just a moment. It is not a vegetable.
No, so he's not the champion pickle.
So it's one down. Gene.
Now, how come there's a little disagreement there? He said, yes, it's a vegetable, and you said no. Who's the guest here?
I run the show.
Who's the head of the...
Said definitely not a vegetable.
It is not a vegetable.
Was it ever a vegetable? I mean, can we assume it was never a vegetable, right?
No.
It's not transformed.
You may assume that.
Yes. All right. Well, then, can we assume that this thing grew on land?
Yes.
All right. Is it in the insect family?
No.
Two down, Arlene.
Well, he could be an anteater for all I know.
Since there was some sort of a nervous discussion about vegetable, is it possible that it was a fruit?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Now, those things that we think are vegetables and our fruits are things such as tomatoes,
Right.
nuts.
That a girl.
Anybody?
Now, how many no's do you want?
No, I'm thinking out loud. Did you eat 255 nuts?
No.
Three down, Soupy.
I just had a wild idea that every time we would ask Mike a question, he wouldn't talk, he'd belch. You know, because you eat that much of something, you know. Does this thing have a skin on it?
Yes.
Is it ever come in bright colors?
No.
Four down, Melba.
It never comes in bright colors?
No.
What'd you have in mind, Soupy?
Banana?
Oh, okay, Melba, go ahead.
Is it a fruit that can be held in your hand?
Yes.
Oh, he's a watermelon.
255 of them?
Do they come in bunches?
Yes.
Well, they do not come in bunches. 5 down, Gene.
Well, we're talking
Are you
about
sure
something.
you're talking about the same thing?
I don't think it's such
Our
a great...
time is almost up.
Cherries? Are we talking about cherries?
No.
No, that's a fruit.
I'm flipping all the
Absolutely.
cards and declaring Mike a
Raisins?
winner and telling you that he ate in 45 minutes 255 prunes. But Mike is the world's prune eating champion.
Were they pitted? Or did, were they pitted, or did you pit them out?
After I ate them, I took the pits out of my
Took
mouth.
the pits out
He
after.
pit him out after he ate.
After each one, or do you wait till you get a bunch of pits?
No, I did it one at a time.
Mike, what was the previous record?
154, and that was by a boy from England.
Did you miss school a lot after that?
No, the problem was they wouldn't let me in school after that.
How are the prunes prepared?
The prunes were prepared, they were soaked overnight, so they got puffy with a lot of water in them. That was in the record book that it'd be like that.
Are you in the record book, the official, with all the Olympic
Guinness
stars?
Book of Records.
Yes, but is that a category in the Guinness Book of Records? I mean, are you listed
Well, let me
there?
tell you about it. The editors of the Guinness Book of Records have stopped publishing records for eating things on the grounds that too many people were getting sick trying to break the records. And I have to ask you, Mike, did you have any trouble along that line?
No, you see,
Never mind.
I had been training. I had been training for it, so I was expecting everything.
How do you train for?
You eat a lot of rice. That's how you train for it.
Well, you know, panel, Mike's record of 255 prunes in 45 minutes amounts to about 5.5 prunes a minute. Now, panel, you think you can do as well?
No.
5.5 prunes a minute. No.
Well, don't worry. We're not going to ask you to try, but we are going to say, Mike, thank you so much for joining us on What's My Line. Now, panel, once again, we've reached that very special part of What's My Line, the time we meet our mystery guest. I see the blindfolds are in place, so, mystery challenger, will you enter and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, it is indeed one question at a time. We'll give you 2 minutes to try and establish the identity of our mystery guest, and we'll begin with Soupy.
Thank you, Wally. Mystery guest, that was a wonderful ovation. Is that because we'd recognize you from your many appearances on television?
Perhaps. Most definitely. Melba.
Mr. Mystery Guest, are you associated with a program that's regularly on television, a weekly series of some kind?
Yes, but not weekly. Gene.
That's something like First Tuesday. Third Monday. Meets on every other odd Friday. Well, let's see. Are you an actor?
No. Arlene.
Are you a commentator?
No. Well, I guess really, not really so. Soupy.
Well, would you be seen on a daily news program?
No. Not strictly that. Soupy. Melba.
Soupy.
I'm sorry, Melba.
I've been taken for you quite a
You've been taken. It's not, could we call this a variety show? I mean, is that the category?
You mean musical variety?
No.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
Yes, that's what I meant.
That's a no. Gene.
Well, the thing you do in television, is it produced under the jurisdiction of a news department versus the entertainment or program department?
Yes. Arlene.
You know who it is, don't you?
Yeah, I
Gene?
know who it is.
Should we say it together?
Yes, it is.
Hugh Dow.
It is.
You know, I knew that Arlene would spot my voice.
Yes,
That's why
I
I didn't use any. But
I can also spot your whisper, no matter what anybody thinks.
Oh, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yes. What's retirement like here? I don't know anyone else your age that's retired.
Well, you know, all I retired from was 5 a week and getting up at 4:30 in the morning, which after 9 years I never got used to it, so I knew I wouldn't. And that's
No one ever gets used to it.
Apparently
I did it for
not.
6 years myself.
You know.
9 years, whatever.
What would you do?
Well, actually, there are now about 30 projects. Hopefully, many of these things will evaporate by themselves, and some may come to fruition. But I'm keeping everything as loose as possible to give myself a little breather and not allow some kind of a Murphy's Law to overtake me where I wind up busier than I was before.
Are you going to headquarter in Arizona as you had
Yes.
planned to? That
Yes.
beautiful house out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Hugh, of the years you were on the Today Show, is there any one or two things that, you know, are really great moments to you and will live with you forever?
Yeah, I think so. Among the most rewarding, I think, are interviewing heads of state. You know, that I've interviewed 2 kings, and hobnobbing with kings is a big deal. And Golda Meir of Israel, and never talked to Queen Elizabeth. She never talked to me, now that I think of it.
Well, maybe that'll work out now, you know. I
Something
understand
like
she
that.
likes Arizona. At least Princess Margaret did.
That's half the battle.
But Hugh, it's great to see you, and keep doing things on television because we miss you.
Good to be here and good to see this group again, too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Hugh Downs.
Thank you.
What's My Line will continue right after this break. Well, good group. That sort of wraps up another session, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're all available tomorrow, I
We're
think?
coming back. Yeah, we had a good time.
And I hope you can join us, too, on What's My Line.
Prizes or product mentions were furnished and or paid for by the manufacturers or supplier of the products or services identified on this program. This is Johnny Olson speaking for What's My Line? Let's all play What's My Line? And now let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, that popular host of that popular match game, Gene Rayburn.
Thank you very much. And I want you to meet a good-looking, blonde, brainy lady. Here is Dr. Joyce Brothers.
And here's a handsome leading man, star of Broadway, Jack Cassidy.
Thank you, Dr. Brothers. It's my pleasure to introduce to you a lady who's brought fashion, femininity, and frolic to the home tubes, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now let's welcome Mrs. Bruner's darling little boy, Wally.
Thank you, Arlene, and welcome to What's My Line. During the next 30 minutes, you're going to meet some interesting people engaged in the most unusual occupations, which we hope will baffle this panel of experts. And in addition, the panel will face a mystery celebrity guest just a bit later on. But now, panel, you ready to begin?
Here we go. Ready.
Okay, let's meet our first challenger. Would you enter and sign in, please? Paul Francis. Mr. Francis, may I inquire as to where you're from?
London.
London, England. Very good. Panel, I'll tell you that before Mr. Francis settled on his present career, he had a number of others. He was an exercise boy for a riding stable, a cook in a restaurant, and for 7 years he was a hairdresser in a beauty salon. Later, he took up the bongos and drums and played with many big bands throughout Europe. Now we come to his present occupation. He deals with a product, and let's show the audience just what his line is. May I remind you, please, that Mr. Francis is salaried. There's a product involved, and let's begin with Miss Francis.
Thank you. Mr. Francis, we're not related, are we?
No.
No, I'm sorry about that. Is this a product that I might use?
Yes.
Might men use it as well?
Yes.
Is it a product that I could hold in my hand?
No.
That's one down. Gene Rayburn.
In using the product, Mr. Francis, does it come in contact with the body?
Yes.
You mean other than the hands, Gene?
Yes.
Then you get a no, and that's two down. Joyce Brothers.
You tricked me. You tricked me.
Mr. Francis, when you use this product, do you move it around in any way?
No. Well, in a loose way.
In a sense.
Is it large enough to be taller than the person?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Is it large enough to get into?
No.
That's three down. Jack Cassidy.
Mr. Francis, the product you deal in, is it mobile?
Yes.
You mean...
Yes.
Is that an essential part of this particular product, the fact that it may or may not be mobile?
No, I didn't establish if it was essential, but...
You mean, is it a product that's possible to move from place to place? It's possible.
It's possible. But one is more likely not to move it. The product that you deal in, is it in any way concerned with the outdoors as opposed to indoors?
No.
That's four down. Arlene.
Is it a product that would be found in a home?
Possibly.
But I think under likely circumstances, Arlene, this is not a product that you would find in the average home. So with your permission, Paul, I'm going to give Arlene a no on that and go on to Gene Rayburn. That's five down, Gene.
Is there anything therapeutic connected with this product, Mr. Francis?
No.
No.
That's six down. Dr. Brothers.
Would this product be used in the world of sports?
No.
No. That's seven down. Jack Cassidy.
Is it a product that is sold on the market to a consumer?
Yes.
In a sense, yes.
In a sense. If I were to avail myself of your product, would I have to come to you to... Yes. What were you going to say, Jack?
What were you going to ask?
Yes, that was... you would not bring the product to me. I would have to come to you.
Yes.
I see. Do you in any way demonstrate the product?
Possibly.
Not really, I don't believe. Let me give you a small clue, panel, and tell you that our guest is working on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. Arlene?
Does your product have anything to do with gambling, Mr.
Yes.
Francis? Does it have anything to do with the tables?
No.
The gaming tables?
No.
That's nine down. Gene Rayburn.
I assume the gaming tables would include roulette. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does it... Oh. Does it have anything to do with the ocean?
No.
That's 10 down, and that means that Mr. Francis has won the game. Does anyone have a
slot machine?
Yes. Panel, may I tell you that Mr. Francis repairs slot machines, and he works for the Paradise Island Casino on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. And after such a varied career, how did you end up as a slot machine repairman?
Well, I originally came to the Bahamas, it was 5 years ago, as a croupier, and went to work for the Paradise Island Casino in Nassau. And they needed people to go to learn slot machines. And I went to Chicago, went and worked on the line. And after 6 weeks, I came back to Nassau and sank or swam on the machines.
Well, can you really change the percentage?
Yes, it's possible to change the percentage.
Joyce?
Can I ask about how often the big jackpot comes up?
Any number of times it can be pulled, or you can get a big jackpot every 2-3 minutes, depending. There's no special time that a jackpot will fall into place.
What kind of... Oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry. But there is no percentage. In other words, you wouldn't say someone has to somewhere have 100 tries or 200 tries or 500
The
tries.
percentage is set by the amount of symbols on the reels as to when it falls.
The percentage is set by those fellas that own those machines.
Well, no, it's really mathematical.
Is it?
Yes.
Strictly. It's. I know a person that once wrote his thesis on the elements of chance, of holding a toothpick up and letting it fall, and it will fall so many ways. The percentages can be predicted.
What do you win? A lot of toothpicks?
You win a lot of toothpicks. Well, what is the percentage of payoff generally set?
I would say normally 80-20. The house takes out 20%.
In other words, if you stand and play a slot machine for 24 hours, you're going to lose 20 cents out of every dollar.
Yes.
Don't stay there for 24 hours.
That isn't too encouraging. You go up and you pull it once and hope for the best. Is that how would you play it, Paul, if you were going to play a slot machine?
I would just keep playing. Knowing my machines as I know the machines, I would probably stay on certain type of machines, like a 5-coin machine, which you have to pay 5 coins to put in, but you pull the handle once, but your jackpot is increased 5 times.
How large are the jackpots on the biggest jackpots you have?
Well, we have some machines that pay $500 jackpots. We have other machines that can go up to $999.
Is it ever set so that when a man has just won a jackpot, that the next pull will also win a jackpot?
I've seen it happen, Joyce.
It is possible,
It can
yes.
happen.
It has
Yes,
possible.
I've seen it happen.
Very interesting. Well, now we're all expert slot machine players. Thank you, Paul. We enjoyed having you on What's My Line. We'll be back to meet another challenger as What's My Line continues. Oh, we were off to a fairly good start on the 11th question, or on really the 11th no, we guessed that one. Let's see how we do on the next. Would you enter and sign in, please? Alice Schiller. And Alice Schiller, may I ask where you're from, please?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, California.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to New York. Panel, may I tell you that Alice Schiller is self-employed and deals in a service. But now let's show the audience just what that service is. May I remind you, panel, that Alice is self-employed, it's a service, and let's begin with Gene Rayburn.
Alice, do both men and women use this service, or can they?
No.
No.
That's one down. Joyce Brothers.
Would this service be performed for animals?
No.
That's 2 down. Jack Cassidy.
Miss Schiller, is your service confined to the male species?
No.
No. That's 3 down. Arlene.
What else is there? Oh, women.
Shoot for that crowd.
Do women use your service?
Yes, they do.
Uh-huh. Does it in any way have any relationship to the entertainment world?
Yes.
Do you do something for women in the entertainment field?
Yes.
You yourself, I take it, are not the performer. You either do something for someone or show them how to do it.
Yes.
Do you show them how to do it?
Yes.
Do you have anything whatsoever to do with the way ladies look?
Well, somewhat.
In a sense, she may have something to do with how they look. However, that is not a basic part of the particular thing that she does.
Do you operate something?
Yes.
You mean something?
Does she handle some product in her work?
No.
No. That's 4 down, and we go to Gene Rayburn.
That was kind of strange, wasn't it? You got a yes and then a no instantly.
Well, that's the name of the game.
Is this a physical thing, this service?
Yes.
And would the ladies who perform this thing you teach them how to do, would they get a little dewy?
A little dewy?
A little perspiry. I didn't want to use the word.
Yes.
Well, they could.
Yeah. And would they eventually do this in front of a motion picture camera?
They could.
They could.
They could. Oh. Does it have anything to do with the losing of weight?
No.
No, that's 5 down, and Joyce Brothers.
Miss Shirley, you teach people something, teach women something?
Yes.
Do you, does it have something to do with movement? Do you teach them any kind of movement?
Yes.
Would it be in the area of walking or exercise?
No.
No. 6 down, Jack Cassidy.
I have to shoot for a specific. Your service, is it in any way part of the water?
The water?
Yes.
No.
I mean, yes.
At 7 down, Arlene.
Does it have anything to do with the art of self-defense? Or
No.
That's 8 down, Gene Rayburn. I thought Gene would have got this the first thing.
Really? That's a little clue, is it? Does it have anything to do with lovemaking? Kissing and stuff like that?
That's 9 down.
No.
Joyce Brothers.
I've been so involved with Jean's question, it's hard to think of one.
Kiss me.
There is, do you touch the person in any way?
No.
No, not really. That's 10 down. Does anyone have a guess?
I have a thought. Do you have something to do that in what you teach a woman, does it help her in relationship with a man?
Sometimes.
Specifically? I see.
Anyone have a guess?
Driving, stunt driving of automobiles.
Let me tell you that Ellis Schiller teaches striptease dancing.
I'd like to see her striptease without any movement. I asked about movement and said no.
Did we lead her wrong?
You stand still?
Well, sometimes
we did.
Well, so, okay, 1 black mark for us. But let me tell you that Alice teaches striptease dancing and is the dean of the Pink Pussycat College of Striptease Dancing in Hollywood, California. How about that? And what are the requirements for admission to your college?
Well, they have to be over 21. They have to have a high moral character. And they have to be very serious about the art of striptease. And, of course, a voluptuous body.
A voluptuous body. I think that part is
Sounds
very
like
essential.
all my attributes.
What degree do you give when they graduate from the Pink Pussycat College?
I'm glad you asked that, Joyce, because I understand that after they graduate, this is really all they need, period. It's all in this little box.
2 feathers?
Well, and plus some very small things that are, it's called the stripper's kit. But you have something else, and may I show them?
Yes, please
This
do.
is what they also get upon graduation. This is
I love that.
This is the sweatshirt, and it says the Pink Pussycat, the Naval, N-A-V-E-L, Academy of the West.
Thank you.
When they have their graduation ceremonies, do they put it on or take it off?
Both. But I tell you what, Alice, why don't you present to our 2 ladies on the panel, the sweatshirt to one and the stripper's kit for the other, and we'll just have to see how things turn out.
All
And
right.
thank you for joining us on What's My Line. And we'll be back to meet our mystery guest as What's My Line continues. Now, panel, it's that very special part of What's My Line when we meet our mystery guest. Are the blindfolds in place?
Yes,
Righto.
sir.
All right, mystery challenger, would you enter and sign in, please? And as you can tell by that tremendous reception, our mystery guest has arrived and is seated beside me. I'll remind you, panel, it's one question at a time. I'll give you 2 minutes to try and establish our guest's identity. And let's begin the questioning with Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Would I know you from the movies?
Perhaps.
Jack Cassidy.
Do you presently have a television series running?
No.
Arlene Francis.
But have you appeared? Are you known for your appearances on television?
Yes.
Gene Rayburn.
Are you now or have you ever appeared on Broadway?
Yes, ever.
I would say that our mystery guest has appeared on Broadway, but this is not primarily the thing he is best known for. Joyce Brothers.
You have a beautiful voice, and obviously you appeal to the women. Are you a singer?
Courses of instruction, psychology of inhibitions, and controlling the structural components of the anatomy. But nonetheless,
Jack, I was sorry to hear about Maggie Flynn closing. I love the song from the show, though. I can't. How can I walk away?
Why can't I walk away?
Why can't I walk away?
Dead wrong for your voice, John, but
no, it
it's
isn't.
a lovely song.
I look forward to your next show.
You're at the Persian Room, right?
Yes, we open. We're almost opening now, I guess, when the show airs.
Right. And you like the live performances opposed to TV and records?
Much better, yes. I would much rather be performing on Broadway as Jack or in a nightclub rather than television, I think.
Well, you've picked a good spot. It's the swank Persian Room of the Plaza. John Davidson, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Wally.
John Davidson. What's My Line will continue right after this message. And that's it for today. The panel was so good, they're invited back tomorrow, and I hope you'll join us, too, on What's My Line?
Let's all play What's My Line? And now let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. First, TV's popular actress, model, game player, beat the clocker, Gail Sheldon.
And here's today's charming Irishman, Eamon Andrews.
Well, I know the Irish don't always have nice things to say about the British, but the nicest thing I can say is Sally Ann House.
Thank you. And here's that delicious, delightful, debonair dingbat, Soupy Sales.
Thank you. Here is a guy that not only is one of the great moderators in our business, but one of the oldest. I won't say how old he is, but his social security number is 2. Would you please welcome Wally Bruner?
Thank you, Soupy. Do you know who has Social Security number 1?
You say who?
Do you know who has it?
No.
A gentleman by the name of Wilbur Cohen.
Really?
Yes, in Washington. Mr. Cohen was once a member of the cabinet under the Johnson administration. He does indeed have Social Security number 1.
Oh, how lovely to remember.
I'm filled with trivia today, but now let's meet our first challenger, if we will, please. So will you enter and sign in, please? Shelley Siegel. Not only did some hearts skip a beat, but I think our record jumped a couple beats too when you walked in, Shelley. Where are you from?
Brooklyn, New York.
All right, panel, Shelley Siegel sells a product, and let's show the audience what her product is.
Yeah.
So may I remind you, panel, it is a product you're after, and we'll begin with Eamon Andrews.
Well, it sounds like a very popular product. Is it a product a man would buy?
Yes.
Would I buy it?
Yes.
Could I buy it outside of New York, or is it particular to New York?
Well, which are you asking?
Could I buy it outside of New York?
Yes.
Would I use it in the house?
Yes.
Would I use it in one particular room in the house?
Sometimes.
If you had that kind of room.
If I had that kind of room. Is it a consumable product?
No.
One down, Sally Ann.
Oh, I'm afraid I had a cup of coffee in my hand, and I was looking for, and I went behind a screen where I shouldn't have been. Very, very naughty, so I have to disqualify myself because I know what she was doing.
Well, thank you for your honesty, Sally Ann. Soupy.
Well, it was getting intriguing there for a while. This product, is it anything, shape, or form in the amusement or toy line?
Oh, you might broadly call it in the amusement or toy line.
Is it a product? Is it a solid product?
Yes.
Did we establish that it isn't anything to eat? Isn't that right?
Isn't anything what?
To eat.
It is not something to eat.
Oh yeah. Is it ever made out of cardboard?
No.
Two down, Gail.
Shelley, can this product also be used by women?
Yes.
Is this product large? Does it stand on the ground?
Yes.
Is it something to do with exercise?
No.
Three down, Eamon.
If it's large and stands on the ground, does it contain something inside this shape?
Well, in a sense, there are some things.
In a sense, though they're fixed things you don't take out. I would gather the implication is there.
Oh, you are saying that they are fixed things which could not be moved or taken out? Well, I'm afraid that's incorrect, so four down, Soupy.
Well, is it, does it stand taller, is it stand taller, say, than 5 feet?
No.
Five down, Gail.
Would you find this product in the living room?
Sometimes.
Is it decorative?
Sometimes.
Well, but not...
In a way.
Maybe in a way, but certainly not primarily.
It's useful primarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you put something into this product.
Well, it has some things, but I don't think you would really say in it.
No.
That's a no?
No.
So that's a no. Six down, Ava.
It has some things, but not in it.
Well, on it better than in it.
Does it make any sound that is...
No.
Not by itself. Seven down, Soupy.
But you say it could be found in any room.
Well, we said if you had a specific room in your home, that's where it would be found.
Well, is it, would it be the kitchen?
No.
No. Does anyone have a guess? No. I'm flipping all the cards and telling you the products are pool tables. But we have a pool table, as Sally Ann has already told you, behind a flat backstage. And Sally Ann happened to turn the wrong way and stumbled into the pool table. You know, you can't hardly miss one if you stumble into one.
No, you certainly can't.
But Shelley sells pool tables for Blatt Bowling and Billiard Corporation in New York. Now, isn't that kind of unusual for a young lady?
Yeah. Well, I got into it. I started there as a secretary, and I was just fascinated by the tables, the accessories, and all the diversification in the pool line. And my boss said, well, you want to learn it? And I said, sure. And it was great.
Do many women play pool, Shelley?
Yes, you'd be surprised. A large number of our customers are female, and they buy tables for the home. Pool has become a family game. Most of the people who come into our place buy tables for the home instead of the billiard room. Manufacturers are making tables now with female eye appeal as to colors of cloth, colors of... We have, at Blatt Bowling, we carry 10 colors of cloth.
You're
Very
left-handed.
good.
Does it make it
Great.
more difficult?
Oh, well, I don't know, but, you know, you look like you might have spent quite a bit of time hanging
Thank
around
you,
the
Wally.
pool hall. So, I think we'll try all of you out. So, Lloyd, will you open the curtains, please? Come on, panel. All right, Sally Ann. Now, why don't we all come right around on this side of the table, line up over there, please, and observe the old master.
Why?
Friends, I haven't done this since I lived in River City.
Oh, really?
Right.
And that means trouble.
Right, and that means trouble. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take turns playing
We are?
pool. Sally Ann, you're going to follow me now. We're going to play the game called Slop.
Slop.
That's right.
That sounds like I could play that.
Yeah, I'm going to break, and after I break, then you shoot and try to get any ball in that you can. If you make one, you get to keep going. If you miss, the next person's turn. All right, let's break.
Put them all in. Do you play this, Sophie?
Oh, enough to...
Okay.
Oh, Wally.
How about that?
Wally got one.
All right, I got one, but I'll pass and let Sally Ann try.
The white ball.
Look at that style. Hey, look at that.
Never played it before in my life.
She's been depressed like this all day.
Wrong.
Go.
A scratch? It's a scratch. Eamon, your shot. Put it anywhere in here. Now you can only shoot for the balls up there.
Right. Hurry.
There you go, Eamon. There you go.
Hey, you made it. Try again.
Son of a gun. Look at it.
Oh, what do I...
Oh. Gail, looks like your shot. Sorry, no cigar. Soupy, it's all yours.
Join my club.
Come on up, Shelley. Go ahead, Soupy, try once more. And Shelley, may I say thank you so much. We enjoyed having you on What's My Line. What's My Line will continue right after this word. And now yet another challenger, Pool Sharks. So will you enter and sign in, please? Ron Odrich. Mr. Odrich, where are you from?
Jamaica, New York.
All right. Ron Odrich is a musician-actor who is appearing in the Broadway hit play Lenny. Now, Ron also has another occupation which he pursues 4 days a week. He performs the service, and let's show the audience what Ron's other line is. So you're after his other line in which he performs the service, and we'll begin with Sally Ann Howes.
This service you perform, does it have to be just one person, or can it be a group?
Well, which are you asking?
I know you were going to ask me that. I was trying to sneak that one in. A group.
No.
One down, Soupy.
When you do this service, Ron, is it for women?
Can
Sometimes.
But it also can be for men.
Yes.
Do they come to you for this service?
Yes, they do.
Do you have like a office or a shop?
Yes.
Or something like, do you ever touch them?
Yes.
When you touch them, do you touch them above the shoulder?
Yes.
Do you touch them, well, from the neck up?
Yes, I do.
Is it anywhere around in the head region?
Vaguely.
Do you ever touch
head or hair? I think he's being a
Well,
little
the
too
head
specific.
is what I was answering.
Well, yeah, okay.
On the head. Can we rule out? Well, here I go. I'm going to get one of those. Oh, well, let's. Do you do something to their hair?
No, I don't.
2 down, Gail.
To the what? The head.
You do
Hair.
something
Hair.
to their face then.
Well, you'll have to be more specific than that.
Do you touch the face area when
I
you're...
touch the face area, yes.
Do you teach people to do something?
Sometimes.
But that is not the primary purpose of his particular service. Would you agree? To teach them?
I'd agree partially.
All right, so we'll let it go. We'll let it go.
Does it have anything to do with skin?
No, it doesn't.
3 down, Eamon.
Well, you look a very fit character yourself. Is there any curative element in what you do? Do people in pain or come to you?
Yes.
So you have a special touch of your own.
And we have about 15 seconds.
You're not a masseur?
No.
No. 4 down, Sally Ann.
Is it anything to do with the mouth?
Yes.
Did you have to have a degree for this?
Yes.
Time is very short.
Yes.
Should you want me to take
Yes.
a guess?
Yes.
Is it something like a dentist?
It is. But Ron is indeed a dentist in New York City, specializing in periodontics. And Ron, I know you also teach at the Columbia Dental School. How do you have time to do all these things? I know you teach, you're a musician, and now you're in Lenny.
Well, they all really complement each other. I practice dentistry 4 days a week, and I'm not on call for Lenny until 7 in the evening. And I enjoy doing a lot of different things. It makes it a lot of fun.
Well, what part do you play in Lenny?
I play the part of a musician junkie. Actually, the junkie who gives Lenny the bad heroin from which he dies. Acting is new to me. I basically am a jazz musician in this area. I play flute, bass, clarinet, and saxophone in the band, which is involved with the acting on stage there.
A lot of talent rolled into one man. But, well, continued success to you in all of your endeavors, and it seems like you're going 3 ways at the same time. Very well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, panel, let's meet our Who's Who team from the studio audience. So, Lloyd, will you open the curtains, please? Here, panel, you see 4 gentlemen from our studio audience, and here is a list of their actual occupation. An architect, a social worker, a school principal, and a funeral director. All you have to do is hand out all 4 cards so that each person is holding the card representing their occupation. We'll begin with Soupy, and Soupy, you have 20 seconds. Sorry, Soup, that means they've won $25. Sally Ann. That means they've won $50. Eamon Andrews. That means they've won $75. Gail. That means they've won $100. All right, gentlemen, would each of you please take your proper sign, shuffle them around so you have the right sign. And now, beginning with our school principal, would you tell us who's who?
Ken Kwiatkowski, school clerk. School principal.
Ernie Burgess, architect.
Joseph Back, funeral director.
Sal Weiner, social worker.
Well, our congratulations, because your team was $100, and we'll have a gift for each of you. Thank you for playing Who's Who on What's My Line.
Each member of our Who's Who team will receive this handy shaver from Mallory Battery Company, powered by Duracell, the long-distance power cell that lasts far longer than ordinary battery.
Well, panel, you were stumped, but now it's mystery guest time, and let's see if we can stump you again. The blindfolds are indeed in place, so mystery challenger, will you enter and sign in, please? All right, it is indeed one question at a time. I'll give you 2 minutes to try and establish the identity of our guest, and we'll begin with Gail Shelton.
Thank you, Ollie. Mystery guest, you're obviously enormously popular. Would we know you best for your work in television?
It's possible.
Eamon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a very deep voice. It's a very powerful voice. Are you a singer on television?
Nope.
No. Sally Ann.
Are you a dramatic actor? What's that?
That's a yes. That's
yep
a yes.
or no?
That's a yes?
Yes, Soupy.
I see.
I got confused. You say he's a dramatic actor on television?
Yes.
Yes. But did you say he also sings?
We said no.
No. Okay. Are you starring on a show of your own on TV at the moment?
Yep.
Gail.
Is that show a crime show?
Could be.
In a way. Eamon.
In a way, is it a crime western show?
Nope.
Sally Ann.
Crime.
Are you a doctor?
No, ma'am.
Soupy.
It's a crime show on television. Is it
In a
in first
way.
run
In a way.
on television? Or is it in reruns?
It's in reruns.
Oh.
Gail.
Are you a detective?
Nope.
Eamon.
Is the series about the FBI?
Nope.
Sally Ann.
Are you a lawyer?
Nope.
Soupy.
It's a crime. It's a crime. I don't know who it is.
15 seconds.
Are you dark-haired?
Nope.
What?
Does anyone have a guess? Take off your blindfolds and meet Roger Moore.
Oh, Roger! Well, you all should have known that.
I was going to ask till she finished and I didn't get around to it.
Oh, you didn't.
You see, I am a dramatic actor.
Yes.
Or even more appropriately, may I say Simon Templar.
Yes, this year, last year, and 3 years before.
And 3 years, but
Didn't
the
hear
show's running.
one
The Saint
tree
is still
Oh, yes,
No.
it's in reruns. I have a new one, too, The Persuaders, Tony Curtis and myself.
Well, that's the new show on this season, right?
On ABC.
On ABC. What,
10
Saturday
o'clock,
night?
10 o'clock Saturday night.
Ah. Is this patterned after the book, The Persuaders, Roger? Or?
Oh, no, nothing to do with the book. It's an original idea.
It's what is it? Is it...
Well, Tony Curtis and I play an English lord and an American millionaire.
You're the American
I play the
millionaire?
American millionaire.
Do you really? But, well, we're delighted that you're here and that the show is doing well, and we've enjoyed The Saint in this country for a long, long time, and much success to you with The Persuaders.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Roger Moore.
Thank you.
What's My Line? We'll continue right after this. Well, I think we'd better be brought up to date. Now, I know that Gail is beating the clock, and I know that Soupy is beating his carpet. But Eamon and Sally Ann, what are the two of you doing?
Oh, I'm doing an operetta called The Great Waltz with the Strauss music and everything. Have to hit those high C's and do all that.
Fun?
Yes, I love it. I really love it. Well, you don't always get too much opportunity these days to sing fantastic score like that.
Well, how about you, Eamon?
Well, I'm doing the layabout. That's not a show. I'm on holidays, and we're
I love it.
we're going over to California, and my wife said she wanted to go to those offshore islands called Hawaii. And I said the other week in London to Wilfred Highthwaite, you know Wilfred?
Mm-hmm.
I said, what's it like over there? What's the best place? He said, dear boy, he said, those offshore islands are as far from California as New York is. But we're going.
Well, we'll have a happy trip. And may I say, join us again tomorrow for more laughs on What's My Line.